I'm going to tell you something I haven't told anyone except my ex-husband. Not because I'm proud of it, but because hiding it never helped me understand why it happened. My name doesn't matter. My age does. I'm 55, and I cheated on my husband of 30 years during a business trip to Austin. Most people think cheating starts with passion, a spark, a moment. That's not how mine happened. My affair started with silence. When my husband retired at 63, he was excited. He talked about fishing, slow mornings, maybe taking a road trip once a month. He earned that peace. But I wasn't ready for that kind of life. I still worked full-time as a marketing director. I lived on deadlines, early flights, back-to-back meetings, and 200 emails a day. He wanted calm. I wanted movement. He slowed down. I sped up. We didn't divorce each other. We just drifted into different currents. At first, it didn't bother me. I told myself, it's just a phase. We'll adjust. But the truth is, routine creeps into a marriage like fog. Quietly, until one day you can't see the person standing right next to you. We still loved each other. We still laughed sometimes. But emotionally, it felt like we were living in two different decades. And then came the Austin trip. It was supposed to be a simple 3-day conference. Panels, networking, cocktails. The kind of thing I'd done 100 times before. But life doesn't warn you when you're about to make the decision that ruins everything you built. I met him during a lunch break. His name isn't important. His age? Maybe. He was 46. Not dramatically younger, but young enough to still have ambition in his eyes. He was curious about everything. My job, my ideas, the campaigns I'd worked on. When I talked, he actually listened. Not politely, attentively. My husband used to look at me like that. Before routine turned my words into background noise. After the first conversation, I felt guilty. Not because anything happened, but because I enjoyed the attention more than I should have. Day 2, we sat together again. More talking, more laughing. The kind of easy connection that feels harmless, right up until the moment it isn't. The night it happened, I can still replay frame by frame. We were at the hotel bar. A group from the conference sat with us at first, but one by one they drifted away. We stayed. We weren't flirting, not in the obvious way, but the air between us changed. Soft, charged, dangerous. He walked me to my room. I could have stopped everything there, closed the door, said goodnight, protected the life I spent 30 years building. Instead, I hesitated. And hesitation is where betrayal breathes. I wish I could say it was passion or love or something that sounded like a reason. But the truth is simpler and uglier. I missed feeling alive. I missed feeling wanted. I missed feeling like someone saw me. It lasted 2 months. Mostly texts, a few more meetings, all quiet, all hidden, all wrong. I became a version of myself I didn't recognize. Checking my phone in the bathroom, lying about my schedule, double-locking my guilt inside a smile. I wasn't planning to leave my husband. I wasn't planning anything. That's the part most people don't understand. Affairs don't always come from wanting more. Sometimes they come from not knowing how to ask for what's missing. My husband found out by accident. A message popped up on my phone while it was charging in the kitchen. He read one sentence. Just one. And that was enough. He didn't yell, didn't throw anything, didn't even ask for details. He just said, "How long?" I told him the truth. He filed for divorce a week later. There was no dramatic fight, no begging, no anger, only disappointment so quiet it felt like a second betrayal. We didn't scream ourselves apart. We faded apart. The affair was just the final crack that made the whole thing collapse. People always ask if the other man and I stayed together. No, of course not. Affairs aren't built to last. They're built on emptiness, not foundation. Sometimes people also ask if I regret it. The real answer, I regret the way I handled my loneliness. I regret not telling my husband how disconnected I felt. I regret choosing a solution that destroyed us instead of a conversation that might have saved us. But do I regret leaving a marriage that had stopped being a partnership long before the affair? I'm still figuring that out. My ex-husband says he forgives me. We talk sometimes, mostly about practical things, insurance, taxes, little pieces of shared life you can't fully untangle. But forgiveness doesn't erase what happened. It just lets both of us breathe. If you're listening to this as a husband, especially a husband over 50, I want you to hear something. Most affairs don't start with lust. They start with emotional distance so small you don't notice it forming. A missed conversation here, a distracted nod there, a night where you sit together but don't actually talk. A morning where you say, "love you," but don't look each other in the eyes. People think marriages end loudly. Most die quietly. If you feel your wife drifting, talk to her. If you feel yourself drifting, admit it. If you feel the world slowing down while she speeds up, Don't pretend you're still on the same road, because once that emotional gap opens, someone else can step into it, and they will. My story isn't an excuse, it's a warning. Affairs don't happen in the moment they begin. They happen in the 1,000 small moments you ignore before that. So ask her how she's doing. Ask her what she's afraid to say. Ask her what she misses. Ask her what she needs. Don't wait until someone else does.